And turning now to Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Josh Colbert this morning, a big weather event that we're seeing move into our region today. Is that the start of this storm that we're tracking right now on radar?
It is. It's not that hard to pick out. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. This is known as a mid-latitude cyclone, a bomb cyclone, a very strong storm system. And where my finger is tracing here, that's the atmospheric river that is going to impact us later in the day, but actually it's already impacting us for this morning. We're already seeing some heavy areas of snow in Siskiyou County, some moisture that's starting to get up towards the Rogue Valley as well. So we'll time all this out with Stormcast. By the time we get to lunchtime, you still see widespread rain and snow. Snow levels are going to raise throughout the rest of the day. I'll show you some of those snow levels in a second. But by the time we get to dinner time, maybe a bit of a gap in the action, but we'll have more rounds of wet weather into the overnight hours. And then as we head into Thursday, it becomes a little bit more scattered in nature, but still lots of wet weather streaming through the area, and those winds will continue well into Thursday. It does look like we'll get a bit of a break into Friday. Here's some of these projected rainfall totals through Thursday night. And the Mount Shasta City area is going to get walloped with rainfall, anywhere between 4.5 to 5 inches of rain. The Rogue Valley not seeing impressive totals at all, just given that we'll have some very gusty winds. That's going to bring some dry air into the valley, and that means that a lot of the rainfall is going to evaporate before it even makes it down to the valley floor. Snow levels starting off this morning right around 3,500 feet, raising up to 4,000 feet later this morning, and then raising up to 6,000 feet later in the day. So a lot of us will start off as snow, transitioning to rain a little bit later in the day. There are some very conservative estimates in Siskiyou County right now, 2 to 3 inches of snow, but just know that maybe we could have a little bit more than that. I think the big winner in terms of the snowfall is definitely going to be the Cascades. 8 to 18 inches we could expect for Diamond Lake and for Crater Lake, and then some less impressive totals for Klamath Falls and Lakeview, maybe just trace amounts. And then Siskiyou Summit can maybe get 3 to 4 inches of snow there. So because of all the snow we're expecting, specifically for Siskiyou County, we have winter storm warnings in place in elevations above 4,500 feet. This runs from 4 a.m. this morning, so it's already in place, to 10 in the morning on Thursday. And then we also have a winter weather advisory in place for central and eastern Siskiyou County. Now on to the wind gusts. This is likely going to be the biggest impact from this high impact weather day. We could see wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour along the southern Oregon coastline, 75 miles per hour for the Cascades, 70 miles per hour for the Shasta Valley, even getting up to 65 miles per hour for the Rogue Valley. This goes from this morning to Thursday afternoon. So just know that we're expecting damage to trees, maybe trees getting uprooted because the soil's already saturated from all the rain we've had, and we are expecting some widespread power outages as well. So because of that, widespread high wind warnings in place from this morning through Thursday afternoon. We have wind advisories in place for some of those lower elevations for the same time frame. So all throughout this week, difficult travel, but specifically for today, those high profile vehicles will definitely be impacted by some of those windy conditions. So for today, wet, wintry, and windy. Snow levels raising overnight. Most of us are going to be just left with rain, but we'll have the winds in addition to that. We'll get a little break in the action for Friday, and then another high impact weather day for Saturday, and I'll have more specifics on that coming up a little bit later in the show. But first, your 7-day forecast for the coast, wet and windy. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's just a very active pattern that we find ourselves in, and it doesn't look like it's letting up anytime soon. For Siskiyou County, winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories in place for today. And then for the east side, we'll see maybe a couple inches of snow in Oregon 140, but I think the main impact is going to be from the winds. For the Cascades and Siskiyous, we will see a lot of snow, upwards of 1 foot to 1.5 feet towards Crater Lake and Diamond Lake. So we will add even more to the snowpack, which is already above average for this time of the year. And then for the Rogue Valley, the main impacts are going to be from the winds today, also for Thursday as well. And then it looks like we have more potent storm systems on down the line.